Every day, on my way home from school, I stop at my favorite deli, Tropical Juice Bar and Grill on Court Street. Yeah. Every day I get a snack and a drink, and one snack that I find myself getting quite often are Doritos. But every time I get Doritos, I find that most of the bag is gone before I've even started eating. Why is most of the product missing as soon as I buy it? So I started paying a little bit more attention, and the other day I noticed something interesting at the deli. I noticed one bag of Doritos for $6, that was 9.75 ounces, and right next to that bag I saw an identical bag of Doritos, also $6, but it was 9.25 ounces. So I thought, okay, why is the deli charging the same price for two identical products when one has less volume? So I did some research, and that was because of a prevailing economic concept called shrinkflation. Here's what that is. As a response to inflation, what companies will do is instead of increasing the price of their products, they'll marginally decrease the quantity. Here's why. Let's say you're shopping for your groceries every week, you're getting your usual stuff. And let's say you get your same gallon of milk every week, and every week that gallon of milk is $3. If the next week that same gallon of milk is $3.50, humans have a very bad reaction to that. We don't like it. It's very uncomfortable for us. But instead, if that gallon of milk was decreased by just a little bit, well, we wouldn't have a reaction to it because we just wouldn't notice, which is why shrinkflation is so effective, because of a psychological rule called the just noticeable difference. The just noticeable difference, discovered by Ernst Heinrich Weber, states that something has to change a certain percentage for humans to be able to physically notice it. There has to be a physical percent change between two things for our brains to see a change. A couple examples of this are, as a teenager, I grow a little bit every single day, but I don't notice that growth because I'm growing a tiny bit every day and I get used to it. Another example that we can all experience is global warming. Every day the temperature gets just a little bit warmer, but we don't notice that because it's such a small marginal thing. And the just noticeable difference has to be calculated differently for every single sense and every single object. But for small objects like a snack like Doritos, it's about 13% for weight. One bag has to weigh 13% more or less for us to notice it. So that's why shrinkflation is so effective. Because if a company like Doritos changes their volume by anything less than 13%, we physically won't be able to notice it as humans. So what companies are doing is they're taking advantage of our human inability to notice these changes to keep screwing people and maximizing their profits. A couple examples of this are Kit Kats. You might have noticed they have gotten smaller. Pringles have also shrunken in size over the years. Kleenex have gone down 5 units. Gatorade has reshaped their bottle, which was just a scapegoat for them lowering the volume of the Gatorade. And you might be thinking, okay, just some snacks and drinks, we can deal with that. You know, maybe Kleenex, that's bad. But shrinkflation is such an effective tactic that it's gone to other sectors, like essential items, like toilet paper, now gone down in quantity, laundry detergent, now gone down too. And finally, medicine has actually gotten weaker because companies don't want to spend as much on the active ingredient or the chemicals that go into it. So instead of increasing the price, they'll lower the quality and dosage of the drug so they can keep serving it to us without us noticing. Why is any of this even important in the big picture? Well, it's very problematic because for the past few years, inflation has been at astronomical rates. Since COVID, the price of everything, as I'm sure you guys have noticed, has gotten a little bit more expensive. But who gets hurt from any of this, right? Who really takes the hit? And that's lower and middle class families. Families who don't have a disposable income, families who are already struggling to get by. And they're struggling to get by, and now everything is a little bit more expensive. And so that sneaky companies can keep these people buying their goods. They've taken advantage of our human inability to notice these changes to scam the people that have no choice but to buy from them. But what can we do about any of this, right? Is there anything we can do to change this? Well, it's not really realistic for any of us to go into a grocery store or a deli and pull out our magnifying glass and cross-reference the volume with last year according with the size. And it's not realistic for any of us to go knocking on the door of the Nabisco company either. But what we can do is be a little bit more mindful of the things we're buying day to day. Just be smarter about these little things you can notice about these companies are doing and try to buy accordingly. Just a little bit more mindful every day. And I know it's hard not to fall prey to these deceptive tactics that these companies are doing, but I hope that by giving this talk to you guys today, I've helped you guys get a little bit less scammed by shrinkflation. Thank you.